So before we go into actually learning the mechanics of how to do the ruqya and other treatments, because I'm not just going to teach you ruqya. Remember, this module is not called how to do ruqya. This module is called how to treat. It's about treating. And one of the treatments is ruqya. You're going to learn many more, inshallah ta'ala, that you're going to also be shocked with. But before we go into that, I want to start off by giving you guys a bit of hope. Because when you're going through magic and possession and evil eye, or maybe even other medical illnesses, it can seem like you're in a very dark place and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You may have tried so many different things and, nothing seems to have worked. You might have gone to doctors for medication, it didn't work. You might have even been trying to do ruqya. Maybe you've gone to people who didn't do ruqya properly. Maybe you didn't know this stuff. You've taken, honey and done hijama and done all these other various things that people have recommended, and you're still sitting here like, you know what, is there even a cure for me? Like, I don't even know if there's a chance for me to get cured. So, in case you're feeling like that, I want to start off with a very positive vibe. I want to start off, inshallah ta'ala, by giving you guys, with Allah's permission, from Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, hope that there is definitely, inshallah ta'ala, a cure that is out there. There is a cure. And as long as there is a cure out there, there is hope. What is my evidence for this? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Ma anzal Allahu da'an illa anzal Allahu shifa'an." In other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send down a sickness, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also sent down the cure of that sickness as well. So you cannot escape the cures. The cures are there. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for every sickness, He sent a cure. But it's about us going out, finding it, obtaining it, acquiring it, and using it, and placing our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now some of you might say, okay, look, I know there's a cure. Not only do I know there's a cure, I know what the cure is, and I've used it. And it hasn't worked. So I would say to you, there's a number of reasons why it potentially never worked. One reason could be that, you didn't use the cure in the right amount. Like when you go to a doctor, he'll prescribe you medication, right? Now, imagine the doctor says, look, you have to take this antibiotic for 2 weeks, twice a day. Then you come back to him at the end of the 2 weeks and you say, doctor, I'm still not well. And he says to you, well, did you take it twice a day for the last 2 weeks? And you say, no, doctor, I took it every other day. He's going to say, well, that's your problem. You didn't follow the correct course. You didn't take the right amount, the correct frequency that was prescribed to you. So you see, sometimes it's, you might have the right medication, no problem, but you didn't do it enough. And one of the evidences for this is the hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ was approached by a young boy. And the boy basically told the Prophet ﷺ that his brother, rather an individual, approached the Prophet ﷺ and said his brother is complaining of an illness that he's got in his stomach. So the Prophet ﷺ prescribed for him honey. He said, give him honey. So he went to his brother, he gave him the honey, and then he came back. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, my brother still hasn't got better. In fact, he's actually gotten worse. So the Prophet ﷺ said to him, again, give your brother honey. And he went, gave him honey, but he got worse. And he told the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, he's not getting better. I've done what you told me, in other words. But he's not gotten better. If anything, he's getting worse. He goes the third time. The Prophet said, give him honey again. He gives him honey. He's getting worse, still not getting better. Comes back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The fourth time, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, listen, the stomach of your brother is lying. Allah has told us the truth. In other words, Allah told us that honey has a cure in it. So we believe Allah. Your brother's stomach, it's an illusion. You might think that it's getting worse. It's not. It's actually, it's working, in other words. The honey is working. Just keep giving him the honey, in other words. And the Prophet ﷺ again ordered for him to have been given the honey. And the fourth time, he was cured. Alhamdulillah. Imam Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah extracted from this hadith amazing benefits. He said, sometimes it's not necessarily about taking the right medication, but it's about taking the right medication with the right amount. The reason why the boy hadn't recovered the first, second, and third time is because he hadn't taken as much honey as he needed for the pain or the sickness or the illness or whatever it was that he was going through with regards to his stomach. So some people will do ruqya like once, or twice, or every now and again. And then they'll be like, brother, I'm still sick. And I say, no wonder you're sick. Akhi, you've got a serious magic on you. You've got a couple jinn that possess you or whatever it may be. You need to be doing this every day for at least half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. This is something you need to do for a long time. You might say, I've done hijama, which is the cupping, the blood cupping, right? The filthy blood comes up, which I'll tell you more about. Okay, how many times have you done it? The Prophet ﷺ prescribed for it to be done every single month at a particular time of the month. So you can't do it once or twice or once every 6 months and think, no, every single month. Okay, I took ajwa dates. The ajwa dates that protect you from the magic. Okay, beautiful. How many did you take? You're supposed to take 7 every morning, every day. Okay, you took 7 every now and again, you missed a couple of days, whatever have you. No, you didn't do it enough. So don't complain and say, my days, I went out of my way, I did it. But you didn't do the right amount. Do you see the point here? That's very important. The other thing, my beloved brothers, because there's many of you inshallah, and sisters, the other thing is that, sometimes you may have a medication, you may have a cure, and you even use it with the right amount of times, but it still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. And there's also a reason why it not be working there. And that's because perhaps you are using the wrong medication, you're using the wrong treatment for the wrong disease. Let me clarify what I mean. You have a medicine with you. The doctor gives you a medicine. This medicine is for the kidney, but you are suffering from a pain in your heart. You can take this kidney medicine is a real medicine and it does work in that quantity, but it works for the kidney. So why are you taking it for the heart? Why are you using it for your heart? You have to bring the right medicine for the heart to the right illness of the heart, and then it will work. Sometimes you might have various illnesses of the heart. Just because it's a medicine for the heart doesn't mean it's the medicine for that illness of the heart. Do you see? So a lot of the time people are using these treatments, or they're doing, ruqya or so on and so forth and other things. Fantastic, but sometimes they're not bringing the right illness to the right disease. For example, they do ruqya in a way that is bid'ah. It's not from the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Or they do ruqya in a way that is shirk, or disobeying Allah. Okay, ruqya is a cure, but you're not bringing the right cure to this illness right here. And the evidence for this is the hadith in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٌ, that for every single sickness there is a cure. Again, mentioning what we said first. Every single sickness has a cure. Then he said, فَإِذَا أُصِيبَ دَوَاءُ الدَّاءِ بَرَأَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. If the right cure comes to the right illness, the illness comes to the cure. The cure comes to the illness. In other words, the correct cure, the correct medicine comes to this illness right here. بَرَأَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. Allah will free you from this sickness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you cure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you shifa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rid you of the ailment from which you are suffering. So brothers and sisters, there is a way out. There is a cure for what you're going through. Just to summarize some of the benefits that we've taken from these ahadith. The first one, it shows that our religion, also from the medical perspective, is that it wants us to go into science and it wants us to research. The fact that the Prophet ﷺ is saying that every single illness was sent down with a cure. Every single one. That, okay, there's a cure out there, let me seek it, let me search it. The religion is encouraging you to do this. Brothers and sisters, now that we've gone through these narrations, I want us to kind of summarize and reflect upon the overview of the benefits that we can take from them. One really interesting thing that we can take from these ahadith, which is a bit of a side topic, is to show that Islam actually encourages us to go into science. Because the Prophet ﷺ is telling us every sickness has a cure. In other words, there's a cure out there, so we should go seek it. Go out there, look for it. Another hadith which is narrated in Sunan al-Tirmidhi, the Prophet ﷺ said, Ya ibad Allah, tadawaw. O slaves of Allah, cure yourselves, seek cure for yourselves. Go out there and use, find these medications for yourself, treat yourself. So our religion, it doesn't go against science. It doesn't So our religion, it doesn't tell us to turn a blind eye from science. It actually tells us to go in. The only issue is that, you see, science is the knowledge of understanding the natural world based on what you can observe. But there are many things that are outside of the scope of what you and I can observe. So that's when we say, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about the natural world, something. For example, the issue of Adam alayhi salam, that Allah created him with his own hands. And science is telling us something. Science is based on limited observation. Allah's word is based on unlimited knowledge and unlimited observations. Allah observed everything. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells me here that Adam alayhi salam was created by him, or anything else about the natural world, Allah tells me, I'm going to take what Allah said before science. So Islam is not going against science. It's just putting science in its place. It's saying science is good. Science is amazing. Science is based on your and my limited observation. So I go out there and do what I can. But I do it within the boundaries of that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already told me. Allah has set the framework with regards to what the natural world's understanding is. And of course, I will take Allah's speech over my own as a human, my limited, deficient observations, when Allah has all of the observations that could be. So that's a very interesting side point that we can take from these narrations. That, Islam doesn't go against science. It just tells us how to place science in its place. The other thing is that these ahadith, these texts that I've mentioned, they really give confidence to the heart of the patient who's sick, and also confidence to the doctor or the raqi that's treating them. So you both don't give up. Neither the sword gives up nor the arm gives up. Both know that, there is hope for this person, and we're going to keep working, inshallah ta'ala, till this person is rid of this ailment that he or she is going through. So in other words, my beloved brothers and sisters, there is light at the end of this tunnel. Okay, and it's very important for you to approach this module with a bit of optimism, with a bit of hope, with a bit of enthusiasm, because now inshallah ta'ala we're going to go into learning really what Ruqya is. What is Ruqya Shar'iyya? What is the correct Ruqya with regards to the Sharia in our religion? What is it? So we're going to go into that now, but you're going into it with a very positive mindset, knowing that inshallah ta'ala there is a cure out there for you. And there is no reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has any, may not give it to you. There is very high hopes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rid you of that which you are suffering from. Without any further ado, let's move on to the next lesson. What is Ruqya?